All right, it's 5 o'clock. I'll call the February 20th, 2024 City of Cumming Planning and Zoning Meeting to order. Item number 2, to have a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion we adopt.
Second.
By vote. Carries unanimous. Thank you. Item number 3, to have approval of January 16th, 2024 minutes.
Motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
By vote. Carries unanimous. Item 4, old business. Providence Group LLC rezoning number 2023156. Scott, you got a
Yes, sir.
report
I'd
on
like
this
to-
one before
I'd
we
like
get
to read
started?
a, staff
Thank you.
memo into the record before the hearing. The applicant has made application on behalf of the property owners to rezone 93.393 acres, more or less, from highway business to multiple family residential R3 to construct townhome and single-family detached residential subdivision. This is a public hearing to solicit comments on the applicant's proposed concept plan and draft zoning conditions. There's no staff recommendation going to be made at this time. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. All right, and just to reiterate, we're having a public hearing. We're not taking any action on this tonight. We're just trying to get input from the public. We limit our public hearings to 10 minutes each way, and then if we get some, we can extend or whatever. We start with that. Try not to repeat comments. Redundancy, we understand, and then we'll also give you Scott's contact that you can send in any things along with this after this meeting. With that, do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Make a motion we open public hearing.
Second.
Motion seconded by vote. Carries unanimous. All right, we got somebody from Providence Group want to come up and give us an overview. It's coming up right here on it. We got a screen that you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I had that one.
Why don't you sit right
Big enough.
there? Mr. Mayor, members of the, Mr. Chairman, and members of the commission, I'm Warren Jolly with the Providence Group. Just give you a little history. The Providence Group has been developing and building communities in Atlanta for the past 40 years. I'm a native of Atlanta. We currently have 2 existing projects in the city. One's Brackley that was owned on Veterans Memorial that's just halfway through. Obviously, the one on Sawney Village that we're just starting. We've had a great results with the city, and we've been really impressed with, working with the city and how these things have worked out. So the biggest thing about what we're talking about, the 93 acres that we have, it's new to you guys, but we actually been working on it since almost 2 years now. So the middle of last summer, we got under contract. We started having some meetings with the council and the staff. Later part, we filed the zoning in the middle of this year. Actually, in July, we filed the zoning. And then we had a DRI, so the original zoning had 509 lots, which is this plan between townhomes and single-family. The intensity of this development was at the corner of Turner Road and Marketplace. Give you a little history. I think you guys know this property was zoned highway business when West Shore across the street was zoned in an annexation. To give you a little idea, West Shore across the street is a multifamily project of 362 apartments, 29 single-family lots, 127 townhomes, total 518 residential units at 8.9 units an acre, and 432,000 square feet of other uses, retail, restaurants, out parcels, office, senior, and hotel uses. As we looked at following this property, we're right across the street, same road frontage, just against the neighbors, Park Shore and existing neighbors. One of the things that this was zoned highway business in that annexation. And even in your own ordinance, we are asking for the changes to highway business to residential, that even in your own ordinance, it says generally highway business districts are considered unsuitable for locations that abut single-family residential districts because of the use of permitted the off-site impacts, noise, traffic, odor, aesthetics, and are incompatible. Also, due to the adopted policy encouraging more pedestrian-friendly development that already has significant congestion and traffic burden, rezoning to highway business is strongly discouraged. So even your ordinance says that it shouldn't probably be highway business, but because of the annexation, you really didn't have a site plan. Nobody knew what was going to happen. It was zoned CBD in Forsyth County, so I think it was asked to be zoned highway business. So we met with, when we had this plan, we met with staff, and then we ended up deciding they wanted us to change some townhomes to face the corner, drop the density down. We actually had some buffers and some planning. So we came back. This is the first plan that we started off with, and we filed in July. We met in September on it, and then we came up with a new plan after we met with staff. The next plan had 488 lots. We faced the corner, is very similar to that layout. Well, it worked it. All right, so it was 488 lots, almost configured the same way, but we had changed, moved some townhomes, and we had oriented the units, there we go. So we oriented the townhomes to the exterior, and then we took this plan, met back with staff, got some comments, and then we decided, look, we're going to go meet with the neighbors with Park Shore. We had this little finger that crosses over there that's adjacent to the neighborhood. We had some units, so we ended up meeting with the neighbors and on this plan, and the neighbors actually saw the first plan, then they saw this plan. Before we went to the whole neighborhood group, we had met starting in September with all the neighborhoods that backed up to this because they are truly the most affected in the zoning. And so we wanted to, if it is rezoned, and we wanted to make sure they knew part of this before the neighborhood as a group. So some of the board members are here. We've had several meetings with them. We went door to door. We spent maybe 20 meetings out there with different individuals. And then we met with the neighborhood as a group. And when we met with the neighborhood as a group, there were a lot more concerns about other issues that were different than just, how we abutted up to them. And the biggest one is that we have an entrance on this plan off Turner Road that's further down, and we have an entrance at the red light across the street from West Shore. And there's a signalized intersection there. So the intensity of this project was toward the intersection. And what Turner's not a very good road. It's a substandard road. There's all residential, goes to the lake. So a lot of the neighbors were concerned about the amount of traffic and also some cut-through traffic that could be because of this neighborhood. And it was pretty adamant that they wanted us to go back to work with a different drawing. And so we ended up going and flipping the plan, and this is the plan that we met with them on, and pretty much, I think, in consensus, we flip the townhomes across where they are right now on crossing West Shore townhomes, and then we got residential on the corner. This is 460 lots, so we end up losing 46 total lots from the beginning. And even when we flipped it, the biggest thing too, we don't have that finger going across that creek. And then we worked out buffer plans with all the neighbors, pretty much how we are adjacent to. This is buffer plans. We've got 30-foot strips, planted buffers. We're not taking any trees within 30 foot of the property line. This plan does not have any lots that are adjacent to any existing neighbors. And then I would, pretty much that's it. I'd like to reserve the rest of my time for rebuttal, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes, he's got 3
Okay,
minutes.
you keep up with that.
Yeah.
All right, so I got anybody else that would want to speak for this project? Anybody else for the project right now? All right, so I got anybody that's come up would like to voice some concerns or tell us something else?
Yes, my name is Walter Brown. I'm a member of the board.
Warren, can y'all do me a favor and keep up the last one? Yeah, put that back up, Clint, if you don't care.
Yeah.
Where if we're pointing at stuff, we
I'm
can
going
see
to
it.
reserve my time. Take your time. There you go. Is that the one you want?
Go back one more.
Go to the.
The
go
most
to the full
recent one?
plan.
Yeah, the most recent, was that
That's the
one
most
right there?
recent one right
Yeah,
there.
that's the one I would like to have up while you're talking. That would, well, if we got,
Okay, so I'm Walter Brown. I'm a member of the board for the Association for Park Shore, and we have a few of our neighbors here. And like Warren said, they've met with us as a board, they've met with us as individual lot owners, and they've met with us as a neighborhood, everybody that was invited to come, numerous times. Obviously, we would prefer the trees, but we realize it's a prime piece of property. It's on Marketplace. So, we're trying to work with the developer as best we can, and they have gone out of their way, I think, to make some pretty reasonable concessions based on our request. So the main thing was the entry on Marketplace. We thought that was a very good thing to do, and then like flipping the density from the north side of it to the south side of it, we thought was good too. And like Warren mentioned, that section that was going on the very south piece of this property, adjacent to probably 7 or 8 lots, they took that out. So overall, we feel like they've made a reasonable amount of concessions for us. And I guess, that's all I really need to say about it. We would prefer it stay trees, but we know it can't. So we just want to be protected. We've had those trees for 30 years, and we know they're going to disappear to some degree, but we'd like to have as much protection as we can, and it looks like they're doing it.
all right, thank you.
All right.
Someone else like to speak? Please come forward and state your name.
Hello, my name is Jim Callen. I live at 1520 Park Shore Drive, and I'll confirm what Walter said. They've definitely met with us and try to work with us. I mean, for me, it's hard to say whether we think this is the best development or not, because we don't know what the city has in mind from the property across the street from it, diagonally across the street from it. We see what was done at West Shore. We see what was done at City Center, which was a nice job, right? But what's the vision? That's actually called Vision Drive. What's the vision for the whole area, and how does this one development play into that? Because it's all going to affect our neighborhood. My house sits behind that retention pond, so it affects me very directly, but it also has to do with it. And I know you said staff's not going to make comment, but it's from my point of view, very hard for us to say, because we like them, but is this the best plan or is it not the best plan? Because we don't know what the city has in mind and has in mind for the other development and redevelopment downtown, and how it all plays in together.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We do have just to answer one of your questions, and then it's not set in stone.
Right.
But if you will go, and Scott can give you the information, we do have what's called a long-range plan we have to do for 10 years out.
Right.
That kind of gets some nodes. Like I said, it's more of an outline than a
Right.
sketch stone.
Right.
But that is available to you.
Right.
And then, like I said, Scott could give you the information on how to
Right.
get to it. That's just answering
Yeah.
that question.
But that would be helpful. Now, we've heard, I don't know if it's true, that some people may in your positions may want more commercial development, but I don't know if that means a Walmart or something like West Shore, or, and that all has to play into whether we, think one is better than the other, so.
All right. Thank you.
I'd say since you have a Walmart about a mile and a half south of here, there's probably not going to be another Walmart in that area.
No, but I've heard that Home Depot may want to build a new store and abandon the one they're in and come in.
And the other thing I'd mention is where Turner Road is, everything north of there up to where Costco is at the intersection of Ball Ridge Marina Road, all that is still in unincorporated Forsyth County. None of that's in the city.
We didn't even have, the reason this is not much, it's highway business right now, we got handed this in an arbitration from the county. We
Right.
did not ask
Right.
for it.
Yeah, well, see, that also puts us in a little
Right.
precarious situation, because we live in unincorporated Forsyth County, and we butt what now is city
Right.
property. I don't mean that you have ill will towards us, but
Right.
I can't run for your position, or I haven't.
I'll give you mine.
I know you, but, so in one way, we appreciate you hearing us out, but the other, we don't have a vote in it really either.
Making my job.
Thank you.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
The last meeting we had with the Providence Group, I took a vote, an informal vote for the residents that were there. This was for the whole neighborhood to be there. And I don't know, we probably had 35 or 40 people there, and all but two said if they had to choose, they would prefer residential there.
Thank you. Anyone else like to come? Yes, ma'am.
Cheryl Abbott at 1620 Siemens Wharf. I'm also impacted by this, and prior to my other neighbor's comments, it's not just this development. We've also been approached by, I don't know, a retail space. I'm not clear on the details, which will also be kind of crowding us. So we've got a thing here and a thing here. So I'm not real clear what the plan is and what is being allowed and what isn't being allowed. And I agree with his comment that it would be helpful to have a clearer, better picture of what is actually happening around us.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. How much? Warren, if y'all want to say anything, you got, what, 3 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. If you want, or if you don't, that's fine. I mean, like I said, that's
Yeah.
y'all's call, and
Yeah,
we'll give the others set too. Like I said, this is just for us to get information.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, I just want to make sure, this neighborhood plan to be gated. In all our communities that we do, they're gated, or even all the HOA maintains all the exterior, all the, of the townhouses, all the landscaping done by the HOA, all the ponds, all these conditions that we've set forth with the neighbors that were buffer plantings and where the buffer's going to be were maintained by the HOA, not individual lot numbers. So if anything happens that didn't get done, you guys would be able to, the city would be able to enforce the regulations. Real quick, just going through the different types of product. It's several different residential types. These are alley-fed, single-family that we built. These are townhouses that are rear entry that we built. We're open to the style. We don't have a color. Is it more traditional? Is it more farmhouse? We're open to, these are front-load townhouses. These are the conditions. We've got 34 conditions. All the conditions in red that are on these 3 pages have to do with increased standards that we've agreed with the neighborhood that we would do to make sure that buffers, fences, what have you, would be done and enforceable against us during the development, and enforceable against the homeowner association once we turn over and get done with it. In closing, I do think this is a great plan. Sometimes when the neighbors suggested changing things, I mean, this plan, it ends up having 28% open space, the requirement's 20%. We've got a lot of open, we got good open, we got out of that, 24 acres of it is natural and 2 acres are improved. So the open space requirement is 38% above the requirement. And I do think this is a good plan. Again, we're asking from changes to R3. R3 allows 6 units an acre, and our plan's at 4.9, and very consistent with other zonings that have been done in the area. Again, if there's any questions, I'm available. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? You got about 20 seconds.
You got about a minute.
The neighbors have been great to work with. The only problem with this is everything falls back to their property. And luckily, nothing drains on their property, but all the ponds end up being on the backside. No matter what you do here, unfortunately, all the ponds are going to go at the low side, and I think we've got a good plan how we buffered those, and we designed them and graded them, but thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
No second, everybody vote. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your input tonight. If If you have any questions, and like I said, on the long-range plan, I know a couple of you asked about that, if you'll contact Scott Morgan in Planning and Zoning, he'll tell you how to get to that. How much of this will we have online for anybody to look at right now?
The application is on the city website. If you go into the Planning and Zoning Department, the application's on there. The comprehensive plan is on there, which shows future land use for all the city, and that's on there as well. And my email address, other staff's on there also.
And you can email in any comments too also. It doesn't all have to be at a public
Yeah.
hearing. This is just to try and get the info and get everybody together. And I appreciate the neighbors meeting with Providence, working with the neighbors so far. We're probably not through, but we're working on it. We'll see. I don't know where we're going. All right. Let's go on to.
We probably will be on the agenda next month. I mean, we'll have it as far as we know.
All right, item number 5, new business. City-initiated rezoning number 2024046.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Did we open public hearing first, or y'all?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I have a motion to open public hearing.
Make a move, we open.
Second.
No second, nobody vote. Public hearing. All right,
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Giles.
The city of Cumming is proposing to rezone public-owned property, including the Cumming City Center, which is currently zoned institutional, and surrounding vacant property, which is zoned a combination of institutional and multifamily to plan unit development, to include mixed-use development of commercial, office, residential uses, as well as civic and open space. Of course, everybody's familiar with the city center. This will be areas adjacent to that, both adjacent between the city center and Highway 306. And right now, the future land use is designated mixed-use, public institutional, and moderate-density residential. Therefore, this rezoning would be in conformance with the city's comprehensive plan. Staff's recommending approval of the rezoning to PUD. You have in your packet an enclosed concept plan and development standards for what's being proposed as part of the PUD rezoning. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have on it.
Basically, just to clarify for us, what this is, I mean, we don't have anything to do with the city center. This is just
This is taking.
putting it all under one thing.
This is
instead of
taking the city
hodgepodge.
center
We're bringing
project.
it under
This-
one.
One rezoning as a
Okay.
plan unit development.
And then
Both
just
the
combine
existing
it
city
instead of
center
something,
property,
whatever
which
y'all
is
got.
approximately 42 acres, and then there's approximately 44 acres. It's going to go along with it, total of about 85 and a half acres.
Okay,
And we want to rezone all of it to plan unit development,
okay.
including the city center.
And a lot of this, the reason we waited, we were designing the city center,
I was
but
going to ask you, because I live in Adair Park. So I'm right by there. But all it's doing is rezoning it, so it's all the same.
That's correct.
it's part of a PUD. I don't think it's changing the plan at all, the overall plan. It is house cleaning.
It's just rezoning it to the plan unit development category so we can include it, all the different uses in there, under one zoning category which fits that.
It's not the location of the new Walmart or Home Depot.
Okay, and did we have, did anybody would like to speak on this?
You answered my question.
All right. All right, any questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would like, once we close the hearing, to get a recommendation to forward to the council.
All right, I have a motion to close public hearing.
Move to close.
Second.
Vote second, everybody vote. Carries unanimous, thank you. I have a motion. Okay, I'll make a motion, we send city-initiated rezoning number 2024046 forward to the council for approval.
Second.
Motion second, everybody vote. Carries unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Any announcements, anybody?
None,
I have a
Jeff?
motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Everybody vote, meeting adjourned, thank you.